I bought a Michael Jordan rookie sticker. So it's a sticker of Michael Jordan. It was made in 1984 when Michael Jordan first joined the NBA.
Wow.
And I bought that for $2,000.
Weird with art, it's weird. I feel like people just, because some of it, it's like, they trying to be cool? Or it's like, I bought this piece, it's got this amazing meaning behind it. But how much is meaning worth to an art piece? Like, look, I feel great, but yeah, quarantine, eh? Quarantine.
This is weird. It's weird. It's like there's a ghost in the room.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
It's
my first Zoom podcast by being the actual person.
We've put you here. We can see you. We just can't touch you, or I can't kick you under the desk like we usually play footsies.
I can't.
Yeah, you do play footsies. You do like to touch me. That is very common before and after shows. But,
I was kind of looking forward to.
Yeah,
I was kind of looking forward to reaching out to you today, Dino. But it's Can you reach out? Or we could almost touch each other.
If you reach your hand out, Dino, maybe there can be a connection that gets made. That we're getting close.
That's good enough.
I mean, I'm familiar with the reach around, but reaching out,
full Matrix, mate. We'll open up another portal.
Welcome back to the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that stuff. You know what to do. We have a weird setup today, and we'll do for next week as well, because Dino is a close contact and is very high risk. Should be wearing a hazmat suit as we speak to him, but he's not. But
I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous.
Yeah. What if you cough, Dino? Did you think about that?
Well, I mean, I got slight runny nose at the moment. I think it's because they shoved the thing up my nose, but
shoved.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's definitely like another 14 days, surely.
So did you?
I don't know, man.
Did you ever have like a plan B? You got the canned tuna and just endless supply of what was it?
Well, thankfully, Woolworths deliver food, so plan B is fine.
Just quickly,
like, you just
give us an outline of the next 14 days. Like, are you going to be productive? Is anything going to change in your routine?
Look, the idea is continue to get up the same time I would going to work. And then work out what I'm going to do from there. I'll be entertaining.
I'm going to stop you right there. You're going to tell me that you're going to continue to get up at 5 a.m.?
Nah, no way.
not 5 a.m.
I mean, you were getting up at 5 a.m.
6.
You were.
Yeah, I know, but I'll get up at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I might go back to sleep for a few hours after that, but I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock. I can't. No, this is the thing. I can't incorporate naps. If I start napping, because I haven't napped in years. If I start doing that,
you haven't.
I won't be able to come back. I'll be putting in the resignation, mate, because I won't be able to cope with a full day if I start napping through the day. That'll destroy me. I can't get into bad.
Are you admitting, Dinnell, that you'll be waving the white flag if this is the outcome?
I can't let it get there though.
You know
because I know myself. If I start to just slip off and just get too comfortable, it's going to be too nice to just sit there and watch movies. I'll be caught up on every TV show. Like, I don't want that.
So just follow the rhythm of what you're usually used to. On a normal day-to-day basis sort of thing for Dinnell, prior to quarantine, you're just going to follow that same pattern, so that way you don't lose yourself.
Hopefully, but I need to find new things to do.
I bet you,
because work takes up a lot of time.
End of the 14th day.
Work takes up a lot of time.
You look like you've been lost in the Himalayas. You have like a bloody beard, like you a full mane.
Don't be surprised you see a few more greys too, because I feel like it's not going to be the most relaxed 2 weeks either.
So much of this good talk. I'd love to believe it, Dinner, but I just can't. I can't buy any of it.
He's talking shit.
When have I ever come back on my word, Luke?
Oh yeah, let me just think of a few times.
Yeah, I never flip flop. Marathon cancelled itself, mate. That wasn't my doing.
The BRZ, the love of your life.
Yeah.
That time you were going to train for the marathon went for 2 runs. The time you were going to stick to keto because this is a long-term thing. You enjoy the food. And then you quit on that. Trained for the marathon. And then you stopped training for the marathon.
Yeah.
Dinnell is a man of his word.
I'm a man of my word for important things, mate. And my own health apparently isn't that important.
Well, I'm excited to see how the next few days go when we check in with you tomorrow night for the Instagram Live. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'll
see if I make it then.
Yeah, with your busy schedule, you may not even make it.
Yeah, a few things might.
Do you reckon our Netflix consumption will be going up the next 14 days?
Netflix does not excite me in the slightest. If anything, it'll be just I'll catch up on a lot of sport I haven't watched in the past year and a half. Like,
NFL.
I'll be watching every football game. NFL, I might have to buy that subscription again. But like that.
So you're gonna get back onto the KO again?
Is on
KO never. I've got till tomorrow, and I can decide if I want to cancel it. Because I cancelled it already, I might have to bring.
Well, that's what we all do. We get the Stan, Amazon, Netflix, KO, Fox Sport, whatever it may be, Optus Sport for EPL lovers, and then you just go to that. You adhere to that 35-day subscription, and you just wean it out until that last minute, and then you just fuck it off, and then use another email address.
I mean, that's a good shot. I'll just get another free trial, another 30-day free trial with someone else's email.
I was listening to this this concept and this idea the other day, Dino. It made me think of you and how much you're quoting Joe Rogan. And the idea is it's consumption versus creation, and it's your inputs equal your outputs. So if you've got one input, that output is going to be one. So Joe Rogan is the only one feeding you information. Your only output will be Joe Rogan. Like, you're only going to think elk and bow hunting. Like, that's your only output. But if you add another output to that, then you've got a second.
Two of my passions.
Yeah, and then you've got Andrew Schultz. Then you've got that second bucket. But then, like, so you've got those old political systems that are like Liberal and Labor. Like, that's only one input, one output type thing. And that's like a very narrow-minded mindset. And I was wondering, maybe opening your mind.
So trying to diversify the inner fucking thought processing of Dinnell.
It's interesting though, but just like, how much are we consuming? Like, where are our ideas coming from?
Well, that's the thing, because if you're looking at social media and you're, like you're saying, if you're watching one specific podcaster, you're going to be...
It's not your ideas anymore.
No, but you'll be more inclined to understand the way they may react to certain things. If on like Facebook you're following some big buff dude who looks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you're probably more inclined to want to be that person, or because you're liking the content.
Yeah,
you know, it's probably about, you know, like I said, diversifying your thought processing. Because if you're someone who's who just specifically likes Labor, you're not going to go and, you know, jump ship and go Liberal.
Yeah, but just broadening.
I understand that, but to me, that idea seems like a narrow-minded concept in itself. That, like, or that example at least, because...
Go on.
When I'm listening to his podcast especially, it's him talking to someone else. So there's, like, a combination of ideas there going on. That then I will then watch and observe. And then I don't just say, oh, well, this is law and follow it exactly. I'll then incorporate everything I've ever heard before in the past and put that and combine that with what I'm hearing now and provide a different outcome.
Because
I don't think that's nuanced enough for human beings.
The only reason I say it is because you're always quoting Joe Rogan, though.
See, maybe...
I mean, I'm not always anymore. I used to... There was a phase where there was definitely everything was like, when are we bow hunting? Now I say it as jokes. But, like, it's not all one thing. Like, I'm not all... just consuming that, because I consume a lot of other things.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Dino, because it is also the people that he's interviewing on the show, but it might be the way that he does it that you enjoy doing, and you watch someone else and you go, fuck, like why would they try to go down that way to get the answer that they're wanting to get?
Like, do you reckon your ideas are yours?
Absolutely.
Or are they a culmination of everyone else's ideas that you've consumed?
Go, give us a scenario.
Well, okay, like if you listen to just Joe Rogan, that's all you're going to know. You're going to know Joe Rogan's thought process or the way he's communicated it. But if you've listened to 10 different podcasts, you read books and watch movies, then you've got a lot more consumption. So your output is going to be a lot more diversified. You're going to have a more broad thought process.
I would say if you're listening to a wide variety of different...
Actually, I'll add, because I don't think our thought process is our thought process. But when it's only like one piece of consumption, it's definitely not yours. But when it's multiple, it becomes so diluted with every other piece of consumption that it becomes more unique, then it's your own. But
do you not think that if you're diversifying the thought processing and everything you're indulging in, that you're only listening to it because you have like an interest in it versus listening to it because of the person who is
True.
the host.
Yeah.
You know, say for example, we
wouldn't listen to shit we don't like.
Absolutely. Like if we go back to like, you know, saying Joe Rogan and stuff, like if we were to pose a question, Dinner would probably be like, oh, I fucking know how Joe Rogan would react. He'd probably like laugh about it and go, oh, he would say this, he would say that. You know, if we listen to like if we're like looking, say for example, if we're watching different movies and you're not watching specifically for a certain actor, you know, you're not buying into the way that they act. Because there's like, say for example, you know, Will Smith, he has a very similar role in his action movies. And then people will buy into that and go, fuck, like he'd be so good because I know how he do this, how he do that. He's a badass. If you're just watching it because you like action movies, yeah, it's a different sort of concept in itself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of it, I think there is some merit to it because there is definitely an issue with, and this is confirmation bias, where you just seek out the things you agree with because then you only watch what you agree with. You like the point of views, and then you tell people this person agrees with me. That's kind of along the same lines of the input versus output because you're only getting the same input and output that you agree with. So if you're just seeking out lots of people, but they've all got the same idea, I guess that's the same input feeding to that same output. But your thing where you said the diversify and different inputs then create your own nuanced output. You were telling me about that. Was that from a book you read? Did you get that from some kind of
So that part is from a book, and that book is called Steal Like an Artist. And that was, if you copy from one person, you're a fraud. But if you copy from 100, you're a genius. And it's a different...
Because that's...
it was a different idea or concept, the creation versus consumption. But I feel like it does overlap in terms of creating ideas.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but like it, you know, the whole idea of like you're saying that if you copy, you know, you're a genius. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
If you copy one person, you're a fraud. But if you copy 100 people, because you merge 100 people,
because
you're a genius.
You're copying the concept of how they go about certain things. You know, it's like, say for example, watching something and trying to better yourself at that particular thing. You know, if you're trying to get better at doing a certain exercise, you'll watch a wide variety of people doing that. And you'll just you'll mold it together to try and find out what's best for you.
Yeah.
Versus just like trying to narrow down one person and like taking their opinion for it to be the right way of doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like versus like taking their opinion versus everyone else's opinion. The same thing is just...
You're still accepting only one opinion.
Yeah, like that's like a streamlined approach versus like what there could be, but you don't even want to try and make that attempt to find out.
You
know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
It's an interesting one because we can all fall victim to it. I think you're right. And there are periods.
Yeah. Well, because
there are definitely periods where like I'll just watch Joe Rogan. That's the other one I've listened to, and then I'll start to regurgitate some of the stuff you hear. But there's still a vetting out process of like you're not just saying everything and agreeing with everything. You're still honing in on the ideas that you agree with, and then you share that. There's tons of shit that I not necessarily agree with, and I just won't even mention.
Yeah.
So it's like there's still your own personal experiences that interact with what you're inputting, which then affect your output. So I don't know if you've only listened to one thing your whole life, I get it. But if it's been like bits and bobs of everything, then you're gonna have those influencing your output.
And talking about...
But the idea is interesting.
And talking about like buying into someone's opinion or, you know, a certain concept, I want to pose this question to you guys because I stumble across this and I go, how the fuck do they perceive this to be art? So with art itself, I think art is such a broad thing. You know, back in the day, it used to just be like, you know, with your Van Goghs and Andy Warhol's, it was just paint on a canvas. But now, and I was watching H3 Production, which is a YouTube channel, and he just, you know, creates controversial videos. And he was talking about the meaning of art. And he was going to this art museum, and he stumbled across this glass frame with stones in it. And this bloke, the artist actually found like these rocks on the ground somewhere, you know, just as he was probably walking to the museum. He's like, oh yeah, they probably do well. But the idea is if you got a concept behind that piece, because to you and I and to you know, with Luke as well, we look at that and we go, what the fuck is this shit? But the idea behind the piece itself is what people buy into. And that piece in itself, I think, was auctioned off for at least $6,000, US grand.
Wow.
It's the idea. I think even if you're
the story behind
even if you're the most talented artist and you don't have a concept,
Mm.
people are more inclined to jump on board with people that might create a shit piece, but their concept is something they can buy into.
Is it the piece that's shit or the story behind that makes something shit, you reckon, though? Because like some things, like, and maybe I just don't understand it, but they look like shit. Like, it's not a beautiful thing to look at, but beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. But is that because of then the story behind it?
I think it is the story in itself. If the story is shit, people will straight away be disinterested. What's that?
I'm just gonna grab a Red Bull.
Get a Red Bull. Yeah. So the reason why I say, go on. Because the reason why I say this is because, like, say for example with Banksy, the controversial artist, the street artist that no one knows who he is, and people have all these ideas. Oh, it could be the bloke from this art show and all this and stuff. That in itself is a story because people buy into it. The idea of the unknown. Like you watch any good movie, and the most I guess the most engaging part of the movie, if there's like a villain, is if he doesn't reveal his face. And the moment he reveals his face, oh yeah, just a bit of ASMR. But the moment he reveals his face, he's like, oh fuck, he looks like that, and then your excitement level just goes down like that.
That's such a good point.
Yeah,
it's even like the shadow. The shadow of the scary thing is scarier than the scary thing.
Yeah.
Like, not knowing is scarier than knowing.
Like, if you watch any old, like, episode of Scooby-Doo, and at the end they take off the mask, it's the lead-up that we enjoy the most of. And then when they take the mask off, oh, it's the fucking librarian. Oh, whatever. You drop and you don't care anymore about it.
That's so true.
It's weird with art. It's weird. I feel like people just... Because some of it's like, they trying to be cool. Or it's like, I bought this piece, it's got this amazing meaning behind it. But how much is meaning worth to an art piece? Like,
mate, I think they know.
It's a few rocks with meaning.
I think they know how to work around it to get the payment that they're wanting to receive.
How much is meaning?
It's money laundering. It's gotta be money laundering. Like, there's no way the art industry is not money laundering. Like, I don't understand. And it's either trying to be cool, trying to impress someone who doesn't give a shit, or you're laundering your money. Like, I don't get it.
Tactic.
It's very strange.
What was that line you said? Money is what? Art is. You said
a money laundering.
Money laundering.
Did you say something before that?
It's money laundering.
It is.
Oh man, I don't know. Art is weird. I said art is weird.
No, it's funny because actually this concept is starting to be embedded into like people in the school system. When I was doing art, I think it was in year 10. I started drawing a few things, and then the art teacher was like, "That's fucking good, but what's your concept?" And I honestly said, it just popped up in the top of my mind, and I was watching this movie and I got that, I got a bit of inspiration from that. She's like, "That's not good enough. If you draw a dot on a piece of paper, you can't just say that you just drew it because
you're lazy and couldn't be bothered to.
You're lazy and couldn't be fucked to make like this amazing art piece that people will just be at awe when they see it. You can't. There's got to be a concept behind everything. It's fucked.
It's funny because like they could do that dot, do this elaborate story, and that dot becomes a masterpiece. But it's like, why? So whoever can bullshit the most is the best artist.
I don't think it's bullshitting. I don't think it's bullshitting though.
I think they know.
Hang on.
What do you mean? Hang on. Like a dot or just throwing some shit on a paper.
Stop! He's on a fucking roll, mate. Don't stop him.
It's shit talk, bro.
He's the cogs are moving. Don't stop, diddle.
You like the voice.
Go on, tell me why it's not bullshit.
Well, no, I don't want to. But you like the voice.
Oh fuck!
The main hook to the voice is the story that they're able to create behind the artists that haven't been developed yet.
I guess
that's all they do. They're just an incubator.
But I'm not paying $1 million to watch The Voice.
Yeah, but
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it being a thing, but being as valuable and worth as much as it is. I'll
stop you right there, because what you said, I'm not paying $1 million to watch it. No, but what you are doing is paying your attention. and you're watching ads, and the ad spaces aren't $1 million, but you are giving your attention to the ads that go between each segment of the show, between each live performance. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah. I pop them on mute.
I'm gonna agree.
Okay, maybe you do, but like
I'm not paying anything, but that's
the attention gets sold there. That's the value. Like, we go to work and we change.
But that's not as valuable as actually paying $1 million.
No, but it's like probably not worth $1 million either. But whatever it is worth, we are paying that for our time. We go to work on a Monday to Friday and we exchange our time for dollars. Then you go home and watch The Voice, and that ad break is exchanged for time and dollars.
Look,
yeah, sure.
And the reason why you are willing to give it up is because of the story that gets given to you.
But it's not that. If they had a shit voice, I would not give a shit how good their story
Yeah, but look,
was. The art is actually good. If they can't sing and they have a good story, go home. I don't care. If they can sing and it's a good story, okay, I care about your story all of a sudden because you've got the talent and it's actually good. I don't think that's the same thing as 3 rocks being $5,000. Like, I don't.
Look, this is the thing. Look, I'm just going to first of all say that I don't really agree with most of the things that Luke says. So I'm gonna. This is probably one of the first.
Yeah.
one of the first times I'm agreeing with Luke. But the reason just take a big swig of the Red Bull.
Go.
Maybe it's just the wings that it's given you. No, the thing is, like, even if you think that it's a shit art, like The Voice is shit, you'll still like listen to their story and be like, fuck, like, oh, this person's come from a really hard upbringing. Oh, poor person. I'm actually going to watch the story, like watch the show to get a bit of an idea of what's going at it. Like, you're captivated. You know, the ad in itself, or the story in itself, is captivating you. Whether or not the artist is a shit singer or a good singer, you've already bought. You know, your time has already been...
It's already invested.
Into it.
Or I put it on mute and I scroll on my phone when that segment's
I still think there's like...
Like, it doesn't keep my
don't
attention
be like that, Diddle.
I don't think it's the exact same thing.
It is, but maybe like... But that's the concept behind it. That's the value proposition. That's the exchange that goes on. And maybe you just ignore or walk away or do the dishes for 5 minutes.
I ignore the stories for the most part and just listen to the singing. Like, that is what I watch it for, because the art is the most...
I was listening to this, well, not listening to, but reading this thing the other day, and it was this...
It's hot in here.
Sorry?
It's getting hot over here. I'll tell you what, I'm getting
fuck, he lost his bud.
No, but this journalist, Rob Walker, was set out, this is in, I think, 2006, New York Times covered it, to determine if storytelling was the most powerful tool. And I believe it is. I think without storytelling, you can't raise capital to raise a business, to start a business. I really think storytelling is the most important thing. But he started his project by collating 200 thrift items. And the average cost of an item was $1.25, not 125, $1.25. I believe he got 200 items, and then he called 200 professional authors and invited him to become a part of his significant object study and asked them if they would each write a story about one of the objects. They all said yes. Anyway, in the end, it all sold for $8,000.
See,
he spent $197. He spent $197, added a story to each item, and sold. It was almost $8,000. So that's 6,300%.
Well, you're essentially giving value to an object that maybe people would throw in the back of their cupboard.
Exactly.
You know, like if you like look at someone, say for example, like you bought like a fucking McHappy Meal and you got like some shitty looking red car, that in itself is worthless. But if you had like a story behind it,
if this was your favorite rapper's favorite childhood
exactly
toy,
right, then that in itself is more valuable than what it previously was.
Exactly. And I even think like,
are you? Oh, go on,
well, I was going to say, even when we go to restaurants, like McDonald's, the meal, we pay $8 for a Big Mac or whatever, and then we take it and go. But we go to Walter's Steakhouse in the city, they charge $57 for a steak. But we go there because they'll outline a story behind this piece of meat that's on our plate. They'll tell us how long they've been dry aging it, what the cow ate before it was killed, and they create this whole experience around the story before it even arrives to your plate.
But then could that be a situation of if you
and then they can charge more.
If there wasn't, say in the instance of you're going to a restaurant and they're like just a standalone restaurant and there's no specific story behind it, but you've heard that the food in itself is amazing. Wouldn't you sometimes just go purely because of the feedback that you're getting from people that are going?
Oh, 100%.
Versus the story in itself. So like if, say for example, like you're looking at an artist and you don't buy into the story, you don't understand it.
And that's why we don't understand the prices that those things sell for.
Yeah.
It's like, how did this sell for that? Like,
well, from us, like looking at like some weird looking thing.
You were telling me about that banana on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense until someone understands it and is willing to pay.
Yeah, or someone was
what
just...
was it? How much was it?
So the story is some bloke, some artist taped a banana to a wall. And I don't know if the guy who actually bought it on the auction was just flexing his wealth. He probably was.
Yeah, it sounds like a massive flex.
It probably was.
100%.
Yeah, but he bought the art piece for 150 grand. Took the banana off the wall, peeled the banana back and ate it, and threw the banana peel in the bin.
150K just gone. It probably tasted good, the banana.
Are you boys buying things just for the story though? Like, have you bought anything?
No,
what have you bought just because the story? You knew the value was shit. Like, it wasn't actually worth that. Because there was an interesting story with it, you bought it.
Well, I bought a Michael Jordan rookie sticker. So it's a sticker of Michael Jordan. It was made in 1984 when Michael Jordan first joined the NBA.
Wow.
And I bought that for $2,000.
Wow,
As
really?
a sticker, yeah. So, and that, like, a sticker. There's all sorts of different stickers. We can go to Vistaprint, get 1,000 stickers, and that cost $50. But I bought this one for $2,000, one sticker.
Was it with the intention of reselling it though?
I bought it for two reasons. The intent of reselling and because I think it's dope as shit. I just watched The Last Dance. I'm like, this guy's a fucking goat. And it was like motivating to look at.
Then
okay, would you then buy something that's like this thing you said with the author, like something is for $60?
Hang on, no,
I can't get my head around buying just for the story. Though.
No, something.
I can't get my head around
backtrack.
Something you told me. Are you Patreoning anyone's podcast? Andrew Schultz's by chance?
Yeah.
Well, why do you do that? That's the story. Yeah. Because
the content's interesting. Because the content is good.
I feel like it's also because of
I'm not paying because of his background story. I'm paying to be entertained by
But it's a narrative he's created. You're interested in him and what he creates.
Or is it a good product he's created?
But
is that a story then? If someone creates content that's interesting,
I feel like it overlaps.
But
okay, then I'm literally
but what you're saying with the Last Dance, you bought into that story. Obviously, you probably have it.
That's a good point.
You probably have an interest in NBA and Michael Jordan, but because the story in itself and what he's been able to do in his career is fucking insane. That heightens the idea of it's a sticker. It's $2,000. But that makes the differential between an Audi like 100-pack sticker that you'd put on like school books to a $2,000 sticker that's come from 1980s, and it's a rare item.
So
stories are important.
And I do think like if I had more money, I would be buying more of those things. Like I think it's cool. Like, and I'm sure your parents have the same thing, but Mum's got like little shot glasses. And goes, oh, this was from Venice, and this was from, and these are $2 things, but they're items that have a story behind it.
Well, then it's personal, priceless items.
Exactly, yeah.
Because like you can't put a price tag on that
because it's a memory,
and it's like nostalgic items per se. Like it takes you back to that time.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not arguing that stories aren't important because stories are and they're valuable, but I think my problem is how expensive. Or how much value they have in terms of making something that's physically would be $2.
So
without a story.
So
like to me that just it doesn't make sense.
Do you value any memories that you have?
Sure.
Like I'm being serious. Like is like to me.
I live for now and the future, mate. I don't care about the.
To me, my parents and my family is a memory. I can't put a value on that. So like
right.
So that if I had $1 million, that's what it's worth. If I had whatever I had, that's what it's worth.
I agree.
Okay, but now you're buying someone else's memories. Is that the same thing?
No,
No.
but you said you can't value. You don't understand how some things are valued so highly. Like it's
you're
hard for
buying
me to
this-
value a
this thing that's
stranger's
just
family.
got a good story behind
It's
it.
hard for me to value a stranger's family, but my own, I can value at infinite, like whatever it is I have.
I've got a good example to use. So I was at JB Hi-Fi today looking for some gear and not
Looking for some gear.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew some guy behind the counter.
That's behind the door deal.
Yeah, I knew
isn't it?
Joe Blow behind the counter who knew some bloke from the Black Alley. But I was looking at some vinyl records. And for me, that's like value for me
Nostalgic.
because the reason why I like vinyl is because the sound in itself, I think, is better than chucking earbuds in and listen to an audio file through the phone. I'm buying into that idea. And that idea came from my father because he used to have vinyl records. So that's like, it's kind of like family value. You know, again,
Yeah.
it's now inherited into me.
I really want to get a record player
it's
just
sick.
because it looks cool.
And
Like
ju-
just get the weekend playing or something. I don't.
And
even
then
know.
just like do the old swiggers.
Yeah,
Chuck
but
them the story.
it's just it's a piece of art. The record player is a piece of art. It looks good
It's like a
and it's playing art.
but because you can't see audio, it's kind of like bringing life to audio.
True.
Because then you can actually manually have control over where, you know, at what point of the song you want to move the pin to.
And you can look at it and go, oh, that's what's producing what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. And in terms of, you know, with audio, music and all that sort of stuff, I was actually looking at this today and I think it's a really interesting concept. In today's society, do you actually think that we're actually creating problematic artists? The reason why I say is like, if you look at
What do you mean?
XXX Tentacion, rest in peace, but like he's not a good role model. You know, the lyrics that he's actually putting in his music, like if you actually listen to stuff like, you know, bitch, fuck and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like, I think he had associations with people in the hood, and that's the reasoning as to why he ended up dying because someone shot him.
Quick. So what do you mean like by problematic artists? Like
So
break that
okay,
down.
so look at Nelly. Nelly, for example, he's in trouble because
R. Kelly?
R. Kelly,
Yeah.
not Nelly. Sorry,
Yeah. Poor Nelly.
not that I
Poor
know.
Nelly's just out there sipping coffee or
Not
something.
that I know of. He's probably in some cafe, just minding his own
Yeah.
business, and all these accusations have been thrown at him.
R.
No,
Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, like how women are coming forward
Yeah.
saying that, you know, the things he's done to them
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
that's problematic.
problematic.
You
but-
reckon the culture is creating?
Yeah, but it's because like if you go to a nightclub, even though R. Kelly's been accused of doing these things, they'll still play his music. They'll still buy into his music, but the backstory of what he's doing, people
Yeah.
don't really. The people just brush it to one side.
Right, where they're separating the artist from the art.
Yeah.
Because the
That's
art
what I mean.
is good enough and known, whereas still get people in there. Like, yeah, there's no punishment in terms of, but you have to be at a certain level where you're like, your art becomes bigger than you as the person, which is what R. Kelly, like his songs, like, not that it's any grand meaning behind it, but they're club beats that have been around forever that people will just keep replaying, and they don't even care about what the actual person
But
has
do you
done.
think like replaying his music is creating a problematic culture?
It's like endorsing. What
Yeah,
he did.
I don't feel like it endorses.
I don't think so.
Look, but if you look at like someone like Snoop Dogg, you know, first thing that comes to mind when I hear Snoop Dogg is weed.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
great.
mean? Like
yeah,
it's
I'm the same way.
like it's creating that culture. It's like, oh, he does it. Well, like if you look at the younger generation, if someone were to listen to Snoop Dogg, oh, he does it. Why the fuck can't I do it?
Yeah,
You know, it just brings on bad habits.
I mean, the argument to that is weed's legal in America, but I
agree.
mean.
No, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. But like if you're in a
Yeah, but-
outsider's perspective,
I see what you mean though, because in terms of problematic, I see it as in, like the people who are role models these days are, why are they role models? Like
that's what I mean.
they do,
Yeah.
they create like things that are interesting, like entertainers are becoming role models when not everyone's growing up to be that entertainer. So
You look at
modeling yourself on someone who just smokes weed but works their ass off creating music, but that those things like work hand in hand together. Whereas then role modeling yourself on that, if that's not your ambition or something, it's weird that we choose. Same with athletes, we choose them as role models outside of just the field of what they're doing.
like their
terms of the way they
personal
live their
background of what they do with themselves outside of the music is sometimes it's just thrown to one side. Like if you look at Post Malone, he's done an incredible job. I think his story is he was jobless and a couple of his mates, they run their own YouTube channel, and they moved somewhere in America, and he just decided to come on with them and go on a couple episodes, and he became really well known through that and started making parody songs. And he went, fuck, maybe I should go from parody to actual realistic songs that people will actually generally buy into. And that's what kickstarted his career. But if you look at that point when he started his career to where he is now, look at him now. Like, he's really successful, but the bloke looks like he's been, living off the streets.
Was he the same? Well, I don't know enough about him, like before Rockstar or before Congratulations.
He was kind of going for that Weird Al Yankovic vibe.
Yeah.
You know how weird, like, do you know Weird Al?
No.
Like, okay, like,
but I can imagine what you mean, just
like
based
parodies,
off
parodies.
Okay, yeah.
Like, so like Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
You know those songs, like, so
Parody
yeah, like
songs.
American,
Yeah.
the song American Pie. So there was like he did a version of that. I think it was like something about like a Jedi. Like he just wanted to take an off spin and go that direction, but he really flipped the coin over. But I just the way I look at it now is, he's doing really well, but his personal life, all he's doing is drinking Bud Light and creating songs. But like the front he puts on, is that a good look for the younger generation looking up at him?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think there should be the expectation that. I don't think just because he's famous, he should be like perfect.
I agree.
But even that being said, he should be held accountable if he's doing like bad shit. But if he's got like bad habits, I don't know. But I think like some responsibility is owed. Like, you got to hold yourself accountable. And go, okay, I can't set this person as my role model.
We're all in control of what we do. But if we're looking at someone like that,
it's a bad example.
It's a bad example. That's why I think that the music industry in itself is quite problematic. Yeah. But it's the same thing in anything. Like, you look at I think the NRL system is a bit bad in that sort of regard as well. Like, there's a lot of NRL players who are quite volatile outside of the NRL field.
They're just aggressive people.
Just because they're probably used to being really aggressive on the field. And you look at someone like that and they go clubbing on a night out and they just start knocking into people.
Do you know, are the NFL players the same? Like, because that's an aggressive sport as well.
There are NFL players who have come back for some pretty bad shit to like start playing again just because they weren't good enough. Or it has a culture of like, if you're good enough, you'll get a chance and you'll be like, he's reformed, he's good. Like,
but it sounds like
I think it
aggressive people are aggressive people.
Ray, no. Yeah, but it's like, I think it was Ray Rice. Like, there was video footage of him beating up his partner in an elevator.
Yeah.
And I think he had a year or two off, and so a team brought him back.
He's brought back.
Because he had come back. But, like,
wow.
Physical video footage of heinous shit, and they come back.
Well,
like, they get another chance if they're good enough. So, in that regard, yeah, like, a bad role model, because, like, you can, if you're good enough, people will look the other way because you can do this thing.
Do you think there's an element of, say, for that specific scenario, if he wasn't a decent player to start off with, and then that had occurred, do you think they would have been? Do you think they would be more lenient to actually let him to come back in the system? So, like, say for example, like
no, he would be gone. He would be
exactly.
Out. He
like,
wouldn't get another chance. This is the NFL.
If Michael Jordan did that in his time,
fringe player.
If Michael Jordan did that in his time, I think they would be less inclined to get, like, the penalties wouldn't be as bad as some up and coming rookie.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So if you're good enough, you can get away with more. That's kind of like, I understand why you think that's like a bad role model culture, but I lean towards what Luke said, where it's growing up, if you got bad influences around you, that's unfortunate. But if you have people around you who are telling you, like, this person's really good at this thing, maybe use them as a role model for how they do that thing and how they approach some things in life, but don't live by law by everything that they do. Like, don't mimic everything they do, because that's not going to work for you the same. Or it's like, not everything they're doing is right because they're good at one thing. You can't hold that person fully responsible for what they're going to influence everyone. You need personal accountability.
So should parents, like, say for example, like, they, a kid's like, oh, I look up to such and such because I want to be like them when I'm older. Should the parents start implementing the idea of, just letting them know that they're not perfect, they make mistakes, and that, take on board the good things they do, but maybe disregard some of the things that they may do in the future that might end up popping them into the wrong place in the media.
Absolutely, learn from that. Learn from what they're doing well and what they're doing wrong. Back where it started,
where you were saying
make your own judgment.
It's popularizing bad behavior or something like that. I do think that like a lot of hip hop does make it look more appealing to be a part of gangs and street violence.
Exactly.
I do think it, and I think that's, and I wouldn't be surprised if those artists aren't even like that involved, but it is popular to rap about that stuff. And it probably has changed within the last like couple of years where it's not so much about that, but I do think it made it popular or more appealing.
Because I've always thought about this. If they banned swear, like if you weren't allowed to put swear words or talk down about women or connotations about guns, all this stuff in rap type songs, do you think there'd be an uproar? I honestly think there would be an uproar. 100%.
Because I don't think it's about like the topics, because I think like, you shouldn't be talking down about women and like you shouldn't be encouraging or promoting popping someone off.
I think they were too afraid to do it.
But I think the issue is, okay, you do that, then what's next? I think there will be a slippery slope and a snowball effect where all of a sudden you're just censoring what someone can say. And I think that's the exact opposite. I think that's the opposite of what music should be. It should be where people can express themselves. And unfortunately, that can be a fucked up way of doing it, and hopefully it's not.
Because I actually think they're afraid to upset the wrong community. If you don't let them vent and say what they want to say, whether or not it might be a bit inappropriate, and you start censoring that, what would be the next step? It probably would be a negative sort of result. Especially if in the rap and hip hop field that there's a high influence for gangs and that sort of community type. If you remove that from them, they're probably going to retaliate.
But it's also like the creativity and because music is an expression.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to have the opportunity to express yourselves in the most fullest sense. And I do think like taking some of that away is kind of like taking away a freedom.
Yeah, I don't think that like music is as influential as like a person's day-to-day life. So like over time, a person's day-to-day life will influence them more than the music they're listening to and the people they're looking up to. So like over time, as the market changes, people be more interested in a certain thing. They will start to buy into that type of music. The other type of music will slowly die out. Like that, I think the market will dictate what happens with that. I don't think censoring
the consumer decides
will achieve anything except it'll cause uproar and probably make that thing more popular because you're getting told you can't listen to it.
That's actually a very good point. Yeah.
With art, it's just it should be pretty much open, like open, right? Like you're meant to express yourself, and people will listen to and reward what the masses will reward what is the most appealing.
I was gonna
censoring is always a bad.
Yeah, because I was gonna mention as well, like if you actually started to implement political incorrectness into the music field, I still think that it actually is a heavy influence of their viewers. If 95% of the viewers have an agreement on what you're trying to talk about, say for example, someone's talking down about the Black Lives Matter movement, you'll probably get 95% of people that are out of disagreements with it, and then they will jump into social media, and then there will have to be some changes made because rap in itself they talk down and they talk inappropriately at times, and they've been doing it for so long that people are so used to it and they're accustomed to it that they don't get that sort of response.
Yeah. Well, I think like with what Dinnell said, that the consumer decides ultimately.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Artists just put it out, and whether you're Drake or whatever, someone has to decide to listen to your music for it to be heard. So if no one wants to hear about what they're saying about women, what they're saying about killing people, people don't listen. Like that decision gets made by the masses.
So,
But I also don't think it should be like censored any more than in Call of Duty killing people. Like I don't think there's a difference there.
but then you might be buying into the artist, the rapper itself, right? So you're saying they're buying into the rapper versus what the lyrics may be saying. You know, because if you remove the idea of it being a song, and you were to look at it on a piece of paper,
Go back to the story behind the artist.
Yeah, if you actually not even like story, but if you actually looked at the lyrics, if it was written down on a piece of paper and you didn't even know it was a song, you looked at it and go, fuck, that's a bit inappropriate, versus it being in a song sort of audio type environment where you're probably buying into the artist versus not taking into consideration what
Pumped Up Kicks, for example. Do you know
it's about
exactly?
school
But
shooting.
you don't hear it
You
until you look at it on paper.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Story again.
Pumped Up Kick. Yeah,
Not the story.
I think we overinflate how much influence entertainers actually have on people day to day. I don't think they're shaping that many minds. But I guess if you look at it like grand scheme of things, maybe like 99.999% of people won't like alter their behavior drastically because a song or an artist tells them to. But sure, there'll be that 0.01% that does, and that could be a huge number. But I don't think they're as influential in like changing people's day-to-day behaviors as we seem to think it is, because it's what's thrown in our face all the time. Like it'll get highlighted when something has triggered some event to happen, and boom, the masses do it. Like I don't think it's that influential to people day to day. I think most of us just watch an entertainer, they listen like they're pretty cool. That's not me. I'm going to consume their stuff, move on with my life. Like I think that's the more common everyday experience.
But
like I don't think it's that problematic.
look, I'm in agreement with you, Dino. I just think that it probably is dependent on where you're at in your life. So if you're someone who's wanting to make a difference with their body shape, like you'll be heavily influenced by someone who is publicly announcing that. You know, if you're someone who's struggling mentally, and you're looking at someone who's gone down the path, like looking at an artist, like backstory, this is how I deal with my struggle. I smoke weed, I take drugs. You're probably more inclined to listen to them in that state. But if that's not applicable to your scenario, you probably would brush it aside and just listen to the music for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not being that influenced by your kind of seeking it out
just
yourself,
quickly,
because it matches.
Donald Trump has said he'd beat Joe Biden in a boxing match. Who's winning in this boxing match?
Yeah. He would win, and it would be like elder abuse.
Okay,
it'd probably be
Trump.
It probably would be an 8-round fight. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. What's the prediction? Is it making the distance?
Fight.
Is it going to be a knockout? Is the ref going to stop the fight? And in what round?
My concern is, are they going to be able to get them out of the wheelchair?
What's your prediction?
I would say Trump. Just because he's
Trump by knockout, Trump on points. Would he knock him out in the second round?
I would just say Trump by entering the ring, because I don't even know if Biden will be able to get out of his wheelchair, mate.
Yeah, it was full over on the ramp down.
Sleepy Joe.
He'll try to like do the you know in WWE how they like step over the rope and they make a couple of moves.
Yeah,
he won't be able to even do that, and he'll probably like have heart palpitations and fall over. I think Trump would win by heart palpitation.
Yeah, the first ever heart palpitation victory. Yeah.
What's your prediction, Dino?
I don't see that going the distance. I don't. Yeah, look. What are we talking about here? Joe Biden does not win that fight.
Okay.
No.
I don't think anyone watches the fight. I think Donald Trump wins the fight, and that's 2 seconds done.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
The mobility would be
We'll see you tomorrow night. Tune into Instagram Live. This will become a thing every Wednesday night. We will be live on Instagram. Last week, we made love happen. I don't even know what the fuck's going to happen next week.
That was awesome.
That was interesting. Right. The comments were popping. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Peace out.
See ya.